Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Tight ends tier list for week 7 is here. SleezBall here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you guys are new to the channel as well, make sure you scroll down below, smash that like, smash that subscribe, help your boy out. It helps me a ton. Trying to bring you the best fantasy football to help you win your matchups weekly. Now, let me explain the board here. So, the Ballerz tier at the top will be my top 5 predicted tight ends on the week, depending on the matchups, etc. The star will be my number 1 player of the week. Over to the left, below my camera, you will see the buys at the top. So make sure these guys are out of your lineup. You have Irv Smith, Dalton Schultz, who's balling, Tyler Conklin, Hayden Hurst, Chig Okonkwo, and Jake Ferguson. Now, a guy I'm paying attention to on the injuries also is Jelani Woods. Might come off IR this week, might not. I love his body size. I've been saying it for like 2 weeks. I can't wait to see him back out there for the Colts. The guy's an absolute monster. Greg Dulcich came off IR last week and then re-injured the hamstring. We don't know the update yet, but it doesn't look good probably. I mean, once you have a hamstring, redo it again, it's probably not good. So let's dive into it here. He's back to just doing Travis Kelce things. Number 1 tight end last week on the week. Him and Mahomes always have that connection. Very simple. They play the Chargers. I mean, he's really the only safe play at tight end at this point. It's pretty much that simple. Number 2, Mark Andrews will get Detroit. These two for me are always simple locks at 1 and 2. Very quick, talk about it. Simple. He's 10-point average pretty much every week. These are like the only, I guess Travis Kelce is the only like over 10 points safe, but Mark Andrews is, with how the tight end position is going, he's always a safe play as well. Number 3, taking a risk here. We're going for the shootout game that I've talked about in my earlier videos. Eagles versus the Dolphins. This should be a high-powered scoring game. You're going to have the Eagles secondary depleted. You're going to have Tyreek Hill and the Dolphins offense flying around, and they're going to have to keep up. This isn't going to be the Eagles where they get to ground and pound, use the tush push, all that. This is going to be the Eagles offense having to open up for the first time in the season, and I think Dallas Goedert is going to be a huge beneficiary of that this week. That's why I have him at number 3. Heading down to number 4. He had a bad week finally, but man, Sam Laporta still ridiculous in numbers all the time. Last week was only 5.6, nothing great. I mean, you do have Amon-Ra, Jameson Williams back now, which is what I was saying in a couple of my tweets, is I want to see how good Sam Laporta is when everyone's out there. It did dip his production a little bit. Jameson Williams got a bomb to it. Amon-Ra had a big game. I do like him versus the Ravens, though. The Ravens aren't very good versus the tight end. Their front 7 is good versus the run, but their pass D is very, let's say skeptical week, but it's like middle of the pack week. Number 5, to round out the Ballerz tier, I'm still going to stick with it. I know he has a super tough matchup too. TJ Hawkinson. I thought that he would be like the main focal point of the offense. He only had 8 points last week in fantasy or half-point PPR. And I did tweet this out. So I said, maybe the problem that you're going to want to get all the TJ Hawkins stock you can, 100%, right? Because Jefferson's out. We don't know how long he's out. Could be 4 to 6 weeks. Could be the end of the season. You don't know. But TJ Hawkinson now is the defense focal point. It seemed like it turned that way. I know the Niners will do the same thing, but I still like the volume that he will see. And I feel like this game they'll be down a lot more than last week. Like they got to stay in that game a little bit. They got the win too. That was crazy. I think they'll be playing a lot more pass production this week in Monday Night Football. Heading to number 6, I told everyone, and I took so much heat, bench Kittle, diddle, down the middle versus Cleveland Browns. And why did I say bench him? I said bench him because every time we play Jim Schwartz, he attacks the weak side of the line, and you need Kittle to chip block every time. And Kittle only had 0.6 or something. He didn't even run any routes, man. He was just out there trying to save Purdy's life from the blitz that was coming every time. The Browns wrecked him. That will not happen this week with the Minnesota Vikings. Kittle will get back on track. He loves Monday Night Football. He loves the bright lights. He'll be doing his Kittle crazy stuff, and he'll pop off. Number 7, Thursday Night Football. This is a super tough matchup for Evan Ingram. So Evan Ingram has been like the only consistent outside the top dogs, tight end. He still had 7.6 last week, which is not bad, but he's averaged 8 gamely. He still hasn't had that blow up game. I don't think it's coming here, but I do think the floor is safe enough to leave him in the top 10. The New Orleans Saints on Thursday night, they're very good at stopping tight ends all year. He's in a little bit of trouble this week, but I still like him at 7 just because he produces so much. At number 8, the Waller Baller. Darren Waller may get Danny Dimes back this week. I even said that maybe Tyrod Taylor would help him. He still only had 6.8 points against Buffalo. He is the focal point of the offense for defenses. I mean, everybody liked the draft pick, but it's just not fully panned out. But his talent is still so good, I can't take him out of the top 10. Finally, cracking in, Kyle Pitts, back-to-back 10-plus point fantasy games. What is going on in the world, folks? Desmond Ridder has opened it up, I guess. You see Drake London putting up crazy numbers. Now he had 18 points last week. Jonnu Smith still had 10 points. I mean, I don't know what is going on, but it's working for points for the receivers. I mean, even though they're losing the game, they still got incredible value. I like the Kyle Pitts in the top 10 now. I've always been a Kyle Pitts fan. I feel like they don't feed him enough still, but you got to like what you're seeing for now. At number 10, David Njoku. I hope Deshaun Watson is back for this Indy game because this is a game where he can take over this game. This could be an Njoku game. They are not good at stopping the tight end. They're very good at stopping the run. They're decent on the outside, but the middle is where they're weak. And this could be a smash Njoku game. I mean, PJ Walker, he actually beat the 49ers, which is crazy to me, but if the PJ Walker's out there, he's not going to really look for Njoku. That's the thing. So this is like a wait and see number 10. Coming off the bye week at number 11, the rookie Musgrave. He got benched last game in the first quarter, and I still never saw that report of why. I just saw that he was sitting on the sideline and the coach was pissed, like he was arguing with him and blah, blah, blah. Something happened, and then he didn't play. Now he gets Denver. Denver is terrible versus the tight end. This is a smash Musgrave play right here. The only problem is Denver's so bad at it. They're always like that chance of, do you just blow them out of the water? They don't play, but I don't think that matters to rookies. I think Musgrave will be fine and a solid play this week. Interesting enough, at number 12 is going to be Taysom Hill. So last week in the Saints game, I don't know if you saw my other videos, that Derek Carr still threw for 300 yards in that game, okay? So now when you look at it like this, you have to wonder how the hell he got 8 targets at tight end. Taysom Hill had 8 targets. He had 7 receptions, 49 yards, and 1 carry. If they keep using Taysom Hill like this is almost like a must-start tight end now. I mean, how can you not if he's literally getting that much work? The problem is that they don't score touchdowns, and that's what is driving me crazy with the Saints right now. They can get all the yards. Like Carr's got back-to-back or 2 games this year with 300 yards and not over 20 points. So I don't know what's going on in the red zone. They're struggling, but I like Taysom Hill's volume from last week a lot. He should be a high priority waiver ad as well, too. Number 13, he's back from injury. He gets the Rams, which is a very nice play. Their defense is very soft versus the tight end. Pat, big man Freiermuth, is back in the building this week. Kenny Pickett, hopefully healthy off the injury. He gets another week from the bye. Should be coming back at a little more full health. Should have Deontay Johnson out there as well. The Rams will try and stop George Pickens first, I believe, which will open it up for Freiermuth. I mean, it's only if they could run the ball. Najee Harris is the problem, but for now, I'm going to put Pat Freiermuth at 13 coming off the injury. I would usually put him top 10, but I just need to see. It was a slow start for them, too. They started to click late before the bye, so let's see what happens. At number 14, I was super high on trading for this guy last week, but, man, that went downhill. Cole Kmet loses Justin Fields, so that's trouble already. I think it was Nathan Peterman. I saw that's going to be the quarterback. You don't like that at all. That's definitely not a good sign for him. But he had 2 big games. He was tied in 3 heading into the week. Then he drops a dud. I mean, nothing to really be excited about there, especially with Fields out. That scramble ability is lost for him to find his way open in different areas like that when the play is broken down, because the Chicago Bears offensive line is so bad. Like Justin Fields is running for his life as soon as he snaps the ball. But Cole Kmet only had 1.9. He had 2 catches for 9 yards, 3 targets. That's nothing. That's not good. And his snap share is still too high for that. His production should be better this week, I hope. I thought about putting him top 10, but I don't think so. Even though you get the Raiders, without Fields, I can't do it. But usually I would have him up there. Number 15, another dud game from him. Zach Ertz was volume heavy, crazy to start the season of football. And I kept thinking in my head, like, is this really real with Josh Dobbs? Is he really getting 20 points? Is Zach Ertz really seeing 8 to 10 targets a game? He is, but the production has never been there. So, like, that's what he's startable, like, still because the tight end position is so bad. Like, he has 20, 28, 30, 39 targets, right? That's like or sixth in targets. His schedule's good. Seattle's actually good versus the tight end. They're on the road. I'm not a huge Zach Ertz fan here. He only had 22 yards last game. He's on the older side of his prime, but still producing at a decent level. I'm not a huge Zach Ertz fan. Honestly, he could be on the wire, in my opinion. Number 16, another big game from him. Jonnu Smith. Like I said with Kyle Pitts, I don't know what is going on in Atlanta, but somehow they are producing points for all their receivers. And it just doesn't make sense to me at all. Like, Jonnu Smith has popped off now twice. Kyle Pitts has popped off now twice. Drake London has popped off now twice. And they're supposed to be Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier. And Bijan is not really doing the full Bijan, what he's supposed to do really, but he's doing okay. I mean, it's his rookie year. You can't expect that much. But he got 5 targets, 4 receptions, 36 yards, and caught a touchdown last week. If you had that at your tight end, you take that any day of the week. And he's seeing enough volume to be a tight end play. It's a tough matchup versus Tampa Bay. They are top 10 versus tight end. It's going to be, and they're good versus the run too. Atlanta's defense is actually not bad, so I'm not really high on Jonnu this week as I am Pitts, but I'll put him at 16. Number 17, another dud game. I had him on stardom, man. He had a great matchup. Logan Thomas did not produce versus the Giants at all. It was kind of disappointing. I mean, he was getting targeted like a madman from Sam Howell. That's gone away. It's going to be a tough matchup again. I mean, look at, so last week, look at Buffalo. Look at Dawson Knox. Look what he did versus the New York Giants. Not much. And this game could get away if Daniel Jones isn't playing. I mean, even though they held him with Buffalo, I thought that was strange. I don't think that's going to happen consistently. I like him at 17, but he's like a low fringe start if you desperately need a tight end. Number 18, man, the production is just gone for Tyler Higbee. It's ever since Cooper Kupp is back, Tyler Higbee has done nothing. So the very first week when Cooper Kupp was about to come back, Tyler Higbee had 11 targets. As soon as Cooper Kupp has been here, let me read this for you. Tyler Higbee has 6 targets in 2 games, 4 catches, 38 yards. Nothing to be looked at all like it's great. He still sees 90+% snap share. There's no other tight end out there. I don't think he's droppable. But if he gets like a big game, a touchdown game, I'd try and sell him off that if he does. Number 19, finally gets a good matchup. Hunter Henry has been just blasted by terrible matchups and game scripts. This is legit facts. He was tight end 1 to come out for the first 3 weeks. Mac Jones loved him. We don't know how long Mac Jones is really even going to be quarterback at this rate. But give me Hunter Henry versus the Las Vegas Raiders at number 19. They're middle of the pack at stopping the tight end. He's literally the only focal point they have. That could also be a problem too. They could be, bracketing him over top or whatever in this game. But I mean, the receiving core is so bad. Just feed Henry. I can see Henry like higher than Zach Ertz in this game, about 15, but he's been so bad I can't put him up there yet. At number 20, out of nowhere, Michael Mayer, the Raiders' top tight end draft pick out of Notre Dame that was the number 1 pro prospect coming out, finally had a 10-point game. Finally saw his snaps above 70%, and look what happened. I was very confused as to why they weren't using him like this the whole season. I don't know if he was just getting used to the system, being a rookie. I could buy into that. But 6 targets, 5 catches, 75 yards. Looked athletic. Looked good out there. We don't know if Jimmy G's playing. We don't know if it's going to be Hoyer or Aiden. It is tough for me with Michael Mayer right now, but I'm going to put him at 20. I do like the production of him finally waking up, though. That's for sure. At 21, I thought a big game was coming for K. Dotton, too. He played 97% of the snaps again and just did nothing with it. All these tight ends from here on out are going to be really rough. This is just dart throws if you don't have anything. There's nothing crazy going on here. At 22, it's going to be Gerald Everett versus the Chiefs. He got a touchdown last night. Donald Parham, I'm gonna put him with him. He plays the same amount of snaps as him, so it's a shared tight end. It's really rough. I thought the Parham would have his wrist. He had that big wrist injury. He made it back in a week after the bye, and he was ready to go. So Gerald Everett, if you can get rid of him off a TD game, maybe try and make a move package or something, I would. They're very tough to own at the moment. 23. Dalton Kincaid, another guy like Michael Mayer, not seeing all the snaps, not seeing the usage. Josh Allen doesn't like his tight end or something. It's very rough. I mean, a lot of people spend a high, I'd say like 9 to 10 round draft pick on him, and he's on all the wires right now. So he's maybe a dart throw, but nothing ever to be excited about. 25, Noah Fant. Same thing here against the Cardinals. Game could get out of hand. I mean, he had that game 2 weeks ago where he got that 50-yard catch and fell short in the end zone. But he's usually a ghost out there. I mean, not like a ghost, but 2-3 targets maybe. I mean, he's nothing special to look at there, but I'll leave him at 25. And in it off, I'm going with the IR here. I've been waiting for this guy. I'm gonna make him all big right here for the end. Jelani Woods. Pay attention to him on your waiver wire. He will be the Colts' #1 tight end as soon as he clears IR. He is huge. Google the guy. It's like 6'7", like 9,000 pounds. He's an absolute monster. I like him a lot. I'm waiting to pay attention for him to come off the wire, and I'm all over it. I do like the Gardner Minshew factor of he'll be able to pass more, and there's more pass attempts. I think it helps the receivers all around having him over Anthony Richardson for now. But that's a 25 dart throw right there. That is it for my tight end tiers list, guys. If you guys like the content, as always, scroll down below, like and subscribe. If you have any questions, comments, anything, drop them in there. I'll try to answer it as fast as I can. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'll be doing defense and kicker tiers in a minute, guys. Peace.